I decided to build a set for the first time in my career as a filmmaker because I knew it wasn't possible to shoot in a real monastery. First of all, because the Orthodox Church would have never given me permission. And then because I learned quite soon that I'm working with a lot of religious people, from the actors, from the crew, and I never wanted them to feel this extra burden of working in a sacred place as a church would be for them. Therefore, I decided I would, build everything, and I started scouting for a hill. And I went to Tanaku to just scout and see how that real place was, I think 6 years after it all happened. And it still works as a monastery, it's only that now it is for monks and not for nuns. And it was good that it gave us a little bit of a feeling of, the atmosphere of the place. Normally the Orthodox churches are painted, while this place is still, as if it's still a construction site. They never had the money to paint the church, which is important in the screenplay. But I decided finally that I won't make a set that looks like the real Tanaku church, because the film finally get to be quite fictional, and it became free about the things that happened. I decided to build a set which was closer to what I imagined when I was writing. And what I did, I took some clay, like the clay that children used to play, and I created that set in the office for my production designer, and finally in the film we have it precisely the way I imagined it would be. During the communist times, religion was not encouraged. It was not completely forbidden, it was tolerated, but somehow people felt that they can embrace religion as soon as communism collapsed. And church as the institution, they start building a lot of churches soon after the fall of communism, and I think they built some 4,000 new churches in the last 23 years.
Who paid for them? The government?
I think it's also the government, but it's private money, it's the church's money, it's people's money from a certain place, but it's also state money.
And were these Orthodox churches, or different denominations?
I think we speak about 4,000 Orthodox churches.
Wow.
Which bring the total number to, I think a Deutsche Welle piece of news speaking about 20,000 churches in Romania for a population of 20 million, in a country where we have, I think, 5,000 schools and only 500 hospitals. And somehow this makes you ask some questions.
Sort of an imbalance, right, on the influence.
First of all, you would expect, if you have so many churches and such a religious populations as Romanians declare themselves to be, I think that in polls 80% of the population, up to 85%, they declare themselves not only to be religious but to be practicants. Therefore, you would, start asking, so why do you see so much hatred in a society that claims to be so religious? For me, it's not really logical. If the real values of Christianity were properly passed and transmitted, you would, see a much more caring population with assimilated values, which is not the case. I'm always trying to understand how things happen, and I think that a story like this should be used as a good opportunity to speak about things that the film can't speak about. The film tells a story, but it gives us the possibility to speak about more important matters, like the role of religion in nowadays society.